What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. And honestly, 2024 was red hot for WWE, including giving us some of the best WWE superstars and some of the best talent in the world of professional wrestling. And in today's video, I'm going to be revealing the top 10 best superstars of 2024 with a few honorable mentions. But before we get started with that, just want to give you guys a quick reminder, quick heads up, that we are now 220 subs away from hitting 500 subs. And of course, as always, I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you guys want to see more, excuse me. If you guys want to see more WWE or some more Yu-Gi-Oh content in the foreseeable future, then make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, and also if you guys want to send fan mail, all the info will also be in the description as well. And again, guys, be sure to subscribe to the channel because right now more than 90% of you guys are watching the content, but you guys are not even subscribed. So make sure you guys do indeed hit that subscribe button, and be sure to again check out all my socials. All my ads are in the description. Let's get straight into it with the first honorable mention being Solo Sikoa. Interestingly enough, Solo Sikoa actually did have a pretty decent year in WWE, especially coming out of WrestleMania. And and it's weird because when you look at what Solo did for the bloodline in 2024 post WrestleMania, he's outdone himself. I mean he brought in literally three of the most dangerous members of the Anoa'i family in the form of Tama Tonga Loa, and of course the Samoan werewolf Jacob Fatu. And honestly, just from watching some of his matches on in WWE, the dude is a fucking beast. That dude is as insanely good as it can be. And while it is true that yes, he's had multiple opportunities at the WWE title, I think this year proved that he does have what it takes to be champion. But it comes down to the fact that Cody Rhodes was right. He's not ready. He's not ready to take that next step of becoming WWE champion, where as opposed to Roman Reigns, he was 100% ready to be champion the moment he got into WWE, all the way back in 2011, 2012. So right around the time that he started WWE in NXT. And it's weird because Solo has had more losses this year alone than he's had victories, which proves that he's not ready. But he does deserve an honorable mention because of the fact that he basically became the new staple, I guess, if you will, to the new bloodline, but he still is not ready. The next honorable mention is Oba Femi. This year has just been incredible for Oba Femi, obviously becoming the longest reigning NXT North American champion in history, but also now men's Iron Survivor winner, and he has a shot at the NXT title next week, I think it is. Yeah, next week. Is it next week? Yeah, yeah, literally next week. Next week, tomorrow. How wild is that? How wild is that? Next week tomorrow, he has a shot at the NXT title, and it can literally be it's gonna be a huge tall task for Trick Williams. But if anybody can pull it off, it is him. But Obafemi had just been dominant this entire year, literally winning most of his matches. But I think once he lost the North American title to Tony D'Angelo, I think that was when he started to realize, oh shit, I can actually become NXT champion and dominate the same way that guys like Samoa Joe did, the same way that guys like Big E did, and Bo Dallas and Adam Cole, baby, and and guys like Finn Balor and Karrion Kross. He wants to be on that elite list of dominant NXT champions. I think he can pull it off, but again, he deserves the honorable mention simply because of the fact that we're now just starting to understand Obafemi and understand like what his motives truly are. It's like once he became North American champion, we sorta understood what his motives were, but it wasn't until after he lost the title to Tony D'Angelo was when we started to realize how good this guy is. But coming in at with the final honorable mention is none other than Seth freaking Rollins. And I know what you guys are thinking. You guys are thinking, wait a minute, why is he in the honorable mentions? Now while it is true that yes, Seth Rollins did become the MVP of WWE in 2023, carrying the World Heavyweight Championship through most of 2023. 2024 became a bit of an interesting year for Seth. Obviously, injecting himself into the WWE title picture, teaming with Cody and whatnot. But this just this year alone had been a pretty rocky, a bit of a rocky year for Seth. Obviously losing the world heavyweight title to Drew McIntyre. Getting himself involved in the match, in the rivalry between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. Having to deal with Big Bronson Reed, and also with all the injuries that he had, just this year alone, the back injuries, the knee injuries, it took its toll. It took its toll on the Visionary, and I think honestly, 2024 may have been a bit of a rocky year for Seth. I have a feeling that 2025 might just be even better for him. But with that being said, let's get straight into the top 10. So coming in at number 10 is Liv Morgan. What a crazy year she's had since returning to WWE from injury last year. She enters at number 30 in the women's Royal Rumble match this back in January. She was a part of the final two again, like always. No surprise there. She became a megastar in the women's Elimination Chamber match at Elimination Chamber in Perth. She injures Rhea Ripley, forcing Rhea to relinquish the women's world title. Liv wins the women's world title from Becky Lynch at King of the Ring. She literally took everything from Rhea Ripley. She took the women's world title. She took the Judgment Day, and she took Dirty Dom away from away from Rhea Ripley, and the fact that she's been this dominant as Women's World Champion proves that her run as the then SmackDown Women's Champion, it was like okay. Excuse me. It was like okay, and it was like it was like a somewhat of a mediocre, championship run. But this run that she's had as Women's World Champion has just been absolutely incredible. But the only issue here is that most of the matches that she's had, Dirty Dom has gotten involved. So that's why that but other than that, I mean it's reasons like her run as Women's World Champion is the reason why she's in this number 10 spot is because of that. But still she has, I think 2025 in my opinion is definitely going to be very interesting for Liv, to say the very least, especially since tonight will be the final Raw, not only of 2024, but it will also be the final Raw on the USA Network, as next week it moves over to Netflix, which is going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting. So I'm curious of what 2025 will have in store for Liv, and only time will tell. But coming in at number 9 is main event Jey Uso. Man, what a crazy year for Jey. I mean, having to deal with the bloodline literally this entire year, having to faces his own twin brother at WrestleMania, having to literally getting the opportunity to challenge for the world heavyweight title, competing in Money in the Bank, challenging for the Intercontinental Championship not once but twice. First time didn't work out so well because of his twin. Second time he defeated Braun Breaker without any outside interference, without any BS, and even though he lost the title because of the bloodline, Jey Uso basically has become the MVP of War Games, now being 3-0, undefeated 3-0 inside War Games, which 2 of those times he literally teamed up with his cousin Roman Reigns, and of course last year's War Games he went up against the Judgment Day, and honestly it was just this year alone has just been insane for Jey. But there have been quite a few matches that he's been in that he's lost, mainly because of the bloodline. But other than that, I mean, it's just been nothing but insanity for Jey. But coming in at number 8 is none other than the aforementioned Rhea Ripley. Rhea has just been had been on a massive roll since winning the 2023 Women's Royal Rumble match, defeating Charlotte Flair, silencing all the doubters, becoming the last ever SmackDown Women's Champion, the first ever Women's World Champion, defeating Nia Jax in her homeland in Australia, defeating Becky Lynch. It's just this year alone for Rhea has been awesome. Yeah, she might have gotten injured. Yeah, she might have lost everything for to live. But this new version of Rhea Ripley has just been nothing short of incredible. And I have a feeling that 2025 is going to be very, very. It's going to be. I know I've said this word so many times in this video, but I think it's going to be very interesting to see what 2025 will have in store for the Eradicator. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. But coming in at number 7 is none other than Braun Breaker. Man, this dude. I don't even have to say anything. I mean, he literally became NXT tag team champion. He won the Dusty Cup, teaming with Baron Corbin, becoming Intercontinental champion twice, getting called up to Monday Night Raw. I mean, come on, just absolutely insane. And yes, while it is true that he did lose the title to Jay, excuse me, I feel like this year had been super nice to Braun Braun Breaker, because he's defeated at least what? At least what? 4, 5, maybe 6 legends in guys like Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Rey Mysterio. I mean, come on. The guy has just been on fire. He was on fire this year, and I think 2025, he's gonna be red hot. He's gonna be red hot, and he's gonna be a megastar in 2025. Coming in at number 6, might be the most unorthodox pick, but it makes sense, and that is CM Punk. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, why CM Punk? He's only been back in WWE for like a year. I get it. But think about this year alone. Competing in his first Royal Rumble match in a decade. Obviously throughout most of the year he was injured, but he showed up. He literally showed up almost every single week, maybe even like every other 2 to 3 weeks at best. He showed up to WrestleMania. He basically cost Drew McIntyre everything. Showed up at Clash at the Castle in Glasgow, Scotland. Showed up to Money in the Bank in Toronto, and his first match back was at SummerSlam against Drew McIntyre. Then he had another match with McIntyre. That was at Bash in Berlin less than a couple weeks later. Excuse me. Then of course he stepped inside Hell in a Cell, which I never would have imagined, and then competes inside War Games, teaming with the OG Bloodline as Paul Heyman's like little favor, I guess, if you will. But obviously we are still curious of what that favor is, but he literally showed up. Almost every city that Monday Night Raw was in, he would show up. And that proves how committed CM Punk was at his craft. And I get that, and I get why guys like Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins don't want CM Punk in WWE. For Drew McIntyre, it's more of the fact that Drew needed guidance, and according to him, CM Punk never gave him that guidance. As opposed to Seth, it was more of a friendship deal. Obviously, they have been friends for a very, very, very long time, and the moment Punk left WWE, or rather got released the night after the Royal Rumble, Seth tried calling him, but nothing. So it's more of a personal deal rather than a professional deal, where as opposed to Drew, again, it was more of a professional deal. For Seth, strictly personal. It's there ain't no business involved. It's all personal. So I can totally understand what they're coming from, but even they have to agree that CM Punk was very committed. Very, very committed. And there have been some chatter going around saying that CM Punk signed a deal with WWE under the condition that he would be on his best behavior, if you catch my drift. So the pipe bombs, the altercations, all the bullshit that he did in the past would be will be null and void. He would not be able to pull that off. Pipe bombs, he could pull off a pipe bomb here and there, but to a certain extent. So I think honestly, again, Punk was very committed, and he showed up practically every single week, and I think that's why he deserves to be in this top 10 at number 6. Now we get to the top 5, and honestly, each and every one of these, I don't even need to say a word. But coming in at number 5 is none other than the current NXT champion, Trick Williams. I mean, what a year this guy had. Having a shot at the NXT title, him and Carmelo Hayes becoming the first 2 black guys to main event at NXT PLE in the form of, obviously, Stand and Deliver, which was insane. Going into spring break-in, a lot was at stake. He needed that victory. He needed to win the NXT title, and he did so. He actually did become the NXT champion, and in spite of losing the title at Heatwave, if my memory serves right, I think was it Heatwave? Hang on, I gotta take a look. We gotta look back. I believe it was Heatwave. Yes, it was. It was indeed Heatwave. Funny enough, it was Heatwave. In Toronto, and Trick ended up regaining the title back from Ethan Page on the CW premiere of NXT in Chicago, and just this year he has been on fire. The Whoop That era, that as he calls it, nothing short of incredible. And I think, honestly, 2025, I think might just be the year that we could see Trick Williams get called up to the main roster. So it doesn't matter whether he drops the title at New Year's Evil next week or not. Either way, we're going to see him on the main roster. But as far as where, personally, I would love to see him on Raw, because of the fact that you look at you look at the star power that Raw has right now. You got guys like Seth Rollins. You got guys like Jey Uso. You got guys, women like Rhea Ripley. Guys like Damian Priest. You cannot deny that Trick Williams would definitely belong on Monday Night Raw. So definitely number 5, Trick Williams. Coming in at number 4 is none other than the current World Heavyweight Champion, Gunther. Man, oh man, I don't even have to explain. Started the year becoming. He literally started 2023 as literally still Intercontinental Champion. He started 2024 as, still Intercontinental Champion. And now, just think of this year alone. 666 days as Intercontinental Champion. King of the Ring. World Heavyweight Champion. In fact, right now, we're at, I believe, Gunther's reign as champion. I believe right now, let's see. Let's see. Right now we are at literally 146 days. Literally at 146 days as World Heavyweight Champion. In fact, I believe that is the case. Right? Let's see. Let's see. Reigns. Here we are. 148 days. Yeah, literally over 148 days right now as World Heavyweight Champion. And funny enough, he's actually the second longest reigning World Heavyweight Champion in history of this current version of the said title, where Seth freaking Rollins holds the distinction of being world champion for 316 days. Where's Stone Cold when you need him? Anyway, just this year, which has been absolutely amazing for the ring in general, and I think 2025 is gonna be even more spectacular for the ring general. Not much else to say. Coming in at number 3 is the WWE champion Cody Rhodes. Man, I don't even have to say a word. Cody is champion. I get that there's a lot of people out there who think that Cody's reign as champion was lackluster and that he doesn't deserve to be champion and whatnot. But think about this. This is the first time in the Rhodes legacy that a member of the Rhodes family is WWE champion. Obviously the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Obviously the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes had the chance to become WWE champion a long time ago, all the way back in 1975. I think Cody said, but it was taken away from him via a disqualification, and so it didn't really work out so well for him. But Cody did the unthinkable. He became the man to pin Roman Reigns for the WWE title, and the funny thing is, it was under bloodline rules, which is insane. It literally took Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, Solo Sikoa, John Cena, The Rock, The Undertaker, and Seth freaking Rollins. It took seven people, including Cody himself, to defeat Roman Reigns. Think about that. And not only that, all the guys that Roman had been in the ring with for that very title, including guys like Kevin Owens, guys like Randy Orton, guys like LA Knight, all stood in the ring celebrating a monumental victory for Cody. And this year was just an amazing year for Cody. In spite of how many losses that he took this year, he has been very, very dominant as champion. And I think 2025, we'll see what 2025 has in store for Cody. I'm not entirely sure if he will actually remain champion going into WrestleMania, but there have been a lot of rumors that Roman Reigns could end up competing in the Royal Rumble match, winning the whole thing, and potentially becoming WWE champion once again. It's very possible, but we will have to wait and see. Coming in at number 2 is the NXT Women's Champion, Roxanne Perez. Man, this girl, I've got no words. Roxanne Perez I've never seen a woman become this dominant, quite like, become as dominant as Roxanne Perez. Ever since regaining the NXT Women's title against Lyra Valkyria at Stand and Deliver in Philly, she has become such an incredible competitor, an incredible champion. And the interesting thing is, both Roxanne Perez and Cody Rhodes are the 2 longest reigning champions right now. Literally coming out of WrestleMania weekend, they're the only 2 left standing. Everyone else, nope. Everyone else either no longer has the title or is a champion, but of a different sort, which is incredible. This is the proof that we are truly in the Triple H era, and I think once Raw moves to Netflix, I can honestly say that we might end up seeing Roxanne Perez on the main roster, 100%. And and as far as when, who knows? Who knows? But we do know that next week, the odds are definitely going to be stacked against her because she will be facing off against Julia for the NXT Women's title, and it's going to be one hell of a banger. Speaking of bangers, coming in at the number 1 spot, and again, just like with CM Punk, this one might be a bit unorthodox, but it's Drew McIntyre. Man, this guy truly became the MVP of 2024. Literally, just having some of the most incredible matches this year alone. Not only winning the Elimination Chamber, but finally becoming World Heavyweight Champion in spite of losing the title via Damian Priest and the Money in the Bank briefcase, but competing against Damian Priest in Scotland, competing against CM Punk at SummerSlam, Bash in Berlin, being inside Hell in a Cell. The matches that he's had this year alone have been nothing short of incredible, but he was never afraid to get someone over and make them look good. This year, Drew McIntyre did that wholeheartedly, 100%. He did that. He made Seth Rollins look good. He made Damian Priest look good. He made CM Punk better than ever before, and he even also competed against Sami Zayn a few times this year, and he even admitted that in 2025 he's going after all the members of the Bloodline, and he is even targeting CM Punk once again, mainly because of Roman Reigns. Do I blame Drew? No, I don't blame him 100%, but 2025 will be it's gonna be something especially for Drew. There's no telling what we can expect. Maybe we might see him compete for the World Heavyweight Championship again. Only time will tell. But on that note, that will do it for today's video. If you feel like that there was somebody who should have been in the top 10 list or in the honorable mentions list, let me know down in the comments below. And that'll do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more top 10 videos in the future, then make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my @s will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.